Leonard's trade is already on hold while the NBA investigates his sponsorship deal with a green banking company as a possible attempt to skirt the salary cap.
Involves Kawhi Leonard of the Los Angeles Clippers. And this is not about basketball, ladies and gentlemen. This is about something that extends far beyond basketball.
A scoreboard the size of a building hangs over one of basketball's biggest arenas. It was supposed to be a marvel of engineering. Instead, it might be evidence. Behind the glowing lights of the Intuit Dome sits a secret nobody was supposed to find. A hidden deal, a hidden payment, a hidden name. Kawhi Leonard. Not his first secret, not his second, his third. Every thread leads back to the same question. How deep does this go? A company on the edge of bankruptcy suddenly had millions to spend on an athlete who never promoted a single product. A soccer club funded by taxpayers holds a name nobody announced. And somewhere between the fine print and the silence, the salary cap itself may have been broken in plain sight. This is the story the NBA didn't want you to connect.
Who broke this story, former ESPN contributor Pablo Torre, reported that Leonard also had an undisclosed partnership agreement with Daktronics, the company that designed the Clippers video boards. A source told Torre that the sponsorship deal was 1,000% a way to circumvent the salary cap.
Kawhi Leonard's name keeps showing up where it shouldn't. Last fall, a deal with a company called Aspiration blew up in his face. $28 million, zero marketing work. A source close to the situation called it a way to dodge the salary cap. That story alone shook the league, but it was only the beginning. The company later collapsed. Its founder ended up in federal prison. The NBA brought in a law firm to investigate, and then Kawhi got traded to Toronto right as everyone waited for a final ruling. 2 weeks ago, reporters said the investigation was finished, fact-finding was done, a decision was coming. Then a new company entered the story, a company nobody expected, a company that builds the exact scoreboard hanging above the Clippers' home court. And once that name surfaced, everything changed again.
Kawhi Leonard reportedly, allegedly, had an undisclosed sponsorship deal with Daktronics. Los Angeles Clippers star Kawhi Leonard, whose sponsorship agreement with the now bankrupt green banking company Aspiration is at the center of an NBA investigation as we speak, also allegedly had an undisclosed sponsorship deal worth millions of dollars with Daktronics.
Here's what actually happened with Aspiration. It was a green banking startup. Steve Ballmer put $50 million into it. Kawhi signed a 4-year, $28 million endorsement deal with a reported $20 million more in company stock. But former employees said something strange. Kawhi never promoted the company. He never pushed a product. He was simply paid to exist. One insider called it exactly what it looked like, a way around the salary cap. The company eventually went bankrupt. Its co-founder is now serving 14 years in federal prison for fraud. The Clippers had one defense the entire time. We got conned. We were victims too. It was a decent argument, until Thursday, when a second company entered the picture, and that defense stopped making sense. The new company is called Daktronics. If you've ever walked into an American stadium, you've seen their work. Scoreboards, video walls, ribbon displays. They built the Halo board, the giant ring of screens wrapped around the Intuit Dome, the single most famous piece of technology in the entire league. That relationship on its own is normal business, a vendor and a customer. But new reporting revealed something else. A hidden multi-million-dollar sponsorship allegedly existed between Daktronics and Kawhi Leonard himself, with Kawhi reportedly set to serve as their official spokesperson. Except there's a problem. Nobody has ever seen an ad. Not a commercial, not a campaign, nothing. Investigators searched and found zero evidence Kawhi performed any actual work for that money. And here's the twist that makes it worse. Daktronics doesn't sponsor athletes, not one, except, allegedly, the exact player connected to their biggest client.
The timing gets stranger too. In 2023, auditors warned Daktronics might not survive as a company. A business on the edge of collapse somehow found money to pay an athlete who did nothing in return. Since the Intuit Dome deal, their stock has surged over 500%.
These are the kind of things that you have to pay attention to when you're thinking about Kawhi Leonard. And inexplicably, for some reason, the Los Angeles Clippers still made it a point to pay him one contract after another, despite about 30-plus games missed, 30+% of his games missed during the regular season, and just as much, if not even more, during the postseason.
The Clippers' defense used to be simple. Aspiration was a fraud, and we were fooled. That story worked once. It cannot work twice. Daktronics isn't a startup that collapsed overnight. It's a 60-year-old, publicly traded company still building stadium boards right now. No founder in prison to blame. No convenient villain. When asked directly, the company refused to answer reporters. Instead, they issued a carefully worded statement through a crisis communications firm, one linked to Steve Ballmer himself. They confirmed the NBA's law firm had already contacted them, and they said they currently don't have a contract with Kawhi Leonard. Notice the word currently. That's not a denial, that's a lawyer's sentence. And this isn't even the last secret. A third arrangement surfaced weeks earlier. Kawhi quietly owns a stake in Rhode Island FC, a soccer club playing inside a stadium taxpayers are paying off for the next 30 years. He set it up through an LLC 1 week before signing his Clippers extension. The club never publicly named him as an investor. 3 arrangements, 3 different shapes, 1 identical pattern, kept quiet, tied to a tight circle of people, and completely invisible to the public. This story is no longer just about Kawhi Leonard. It's about what happens when the richest owner in the league gets caught bending the rules. The Raptors are reportedly stalling the trade, unwilling to absorb whatever punishment lands. Real players, Brandon Ingram and Grady Dick, are stuck in limbo, technically traded, but not really. Meanwhile, reactions couldn't be more different. One analyst says Kawhi should be banned for a year. Another says Steve Ballmer will likely walk away almost untouched. And that gap between the seriousness of the accusations and the softness of the expected punishment is the real scandal here. Because if a team really did route money through its own vendor back to its own star, and the punishment ends up being a quiet fine and a draft pick, that's not justice. That's a message to every other owner in the league. The salary cap has a price, and the price depends on how rich you are. Small market teams playing by the rules are the ones left behind. Kawhi is 35 years old. He just had the best scoring season of his career, and now his name is permanently linked to 3 different stories, all carrying the exact same word, secret. 3 companies, 3 secrets, 1 name at the center of all of it. What started as a single endorsement deal has become something much bigger. A question about power, money, and whether the rules of this league actually apply to everyone equally. The investigation isn't finished, the trade isn't finished, and the truth, the full truth, still hasn't come out. But one thing is already clear. This isn't just about Kawhi Leonard anymore. It's about what the league is willing to look away from and who gets to buy their way out of consequences. If this story keeps unfolding, you don't want to miss what comes next. Hit subscribe because the next chapter of this scandal might be the one that changes everything.